Well, that's the end of that. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name, of course, is Chad, back from the Caucasian mountains. I am back from vacation. That little guitar I was playing is one of the cool little things I brought back from Georgia. Thank you so much for giving me some weeks off and some leeway. I'm very jet lagged.
Oh, God. No.
But I'm still here, making content for you guys. I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to hear from you. This week, the video is actually inspired by something I was not planning on making a video about, but I encountered and became so frustrated, and it challenged my deepest convictions in the trust and capability of men and governments. I decided to make a video about traveling during COVID land. Now, for many of you, I'm sure just like me, basically had a year and a half robbed from us. And even though now most things are opening up. Oh, I bet that graphic was controversial. I'll bet that you guys are probably planning some sort of summer vacation, maybe a fall study abroad, a business trip, now that some of the countries, although not the most important ones, are opening up. And although many things are the same and similar as they always are when we travel, there are some very distinct differences if you guys are planning on traveling anytime before, I don't know, the aliens come and blow everything up and then thus eliminating the demonetization virus. If you're having to put up with the stupid masks and the passports and the whatever, you're gonna have to deal with this at some point. So, I wanted to share my experience doing domestic and international travel during this whole show, and while telling you guys the story of what happened, give you guys some potential tips so that way you do not have to suffer the way that I have suffered. You won't grieve the grieving that I grieve. My first tip happened before I ever even left, and I didn't find out about it until the day I showed up to the airport. Check your freaking embassy pages, not just for your country, not just for where you're going, any transit country. And the reason is I booked a flight from Denver, where I was flying out, and I was gonna go straight to Frankfurt, and I was gonna go right to Georgia. Not Georgia the city, Georgia the country. About a week before I left, they just had a change in the flight schedule. It happens, COVID time or not, and I was given an extra layover, so Denver to Frankfurt, and then I had to fly over to Munich, and then Munich to Georgia. Sounds like not a big deal, right? I did all my checks. I checked Georgia and America. I checked that can Americans transit in Germany, totally. Finally, I show up to the airport and they won't let me check in. And I was like, guys, my flight leaves in 2 hours. What's the problem? I've done everything right. And they say, oh, well, Germany lets you transit through one airport. Of course they do. Why wouldn't they? So essentially, they were gonna say you're, SOL. That was their plan. That was how Lufthansa and United figured that they were gonna handle this. Now, I was able to show the agent that, hey, you guys switched my flight before I was ever even able to get a visa. You can't get a transit visa in Germany in 7 days. On top of that, you did not alert me that that would be part of this transition, otherwise I would not have agreed, because I was born with 2 chromosomes to rub together, and I have some sense of self and thought and dignity. After like 30 minutes, so I have now an hour and a half till I need to be on a plane, they finally were like, fine, it was probably our fault, we'll reroute you. So, first tip, don't just check your country's pages, the pages of where you're going, check the transiting pages. Check the embassy pages. Number 2 happened when I was actually at the gate, because before I could even get to them, they wouldn't let me talk to them because I was wearing one of those like comfortable, fashionable black masks. You know, the kind that make like this part of your face look like a model so you can hide the bad part. And they said, we won't even talk to you unless you are wearing a surgical mask. Now, I did not bring a surgical mask, and for anyone that has been to Denver International Airport, there's not vendors anywhere within 40 minutes of that airport. You have to drive all the way to Commerce City. Oh, but don't you worry, you pathetic plebeian, we got you. On the side of our little shelf thing, you can buy masks for $7 per mask. Congratulations. So, great scam you guys got running there. So tip number 2, bring both a comfortable mask and a medical mask, because not every airport, not every country that I was going through cared about whether you had a medical or a regular mask. Germany cared a ton. Georgia could not give a less of a damn. Lufthansa cares. United does not care. Those are the ones that I was flying through. So make sure to bring both, because you're also on a plane for like, I was transiting, and you're not allowed to take your mask off in any of these airports yet through Germany, through Istanbul, the Caucasus, because I was also like right on the border there with Azerbaijan. All of it. You weren't allowed to not have a mask in the airport. So I'm talking like 30 hours of transit where I had to have something covering my face. And just so you guys know, the medical ones kind of don't feel great. Like they itch my nose. I had like rub burns. So I preferred the comfortable one, but some airlines wouldn't allow it. So bring both. Have one of each, at least. My third tip comes once I've checked my bags in, if I had any, got through the initial security, which you are probably used to in whatever country you're in. The thing that is new, though, that I noticed is on the other side of security, there is a new security. So you've gone through security, you've taken your belt off, taken your shoes off, made fun of the person who made you do that, they take you aside, they put a finger in you, you feel violated as you're pulling up your pants and crying, you look over, there's additional security. Now what's going on over there? Well, you show up, and by the way, these are not security agents, these aren't security guards, this isn't TSA here in America or whatever flippity-dippity thing you got wherever you're going. These are members of the airport and the airlines forcing you to stop to make sure that you have all the COVID stuff that you need for your specific destination. Now that's not terrible, it does add a lot of extra time because you have what, 20 lines of people doing security in any major airport, and then you finally get in and there's 3 lines to get through this. In fact, this caused me to be late almost twice. So be prepared, have your passport, usually your boarding pass inside that first page of your passport. If you've traveled a lot, you know how to do that. On top of that, carry with you any PCR tests you need, vaccine passports if you guys have ones, or vaccination cards, or proof of negatives if that's what you need for the country and the transiting country you're going to. Remember, think not just your destination, but where you're flying through. Keep all of that together in a convenient place because you're gonna be taking it out not once, my friends. If it would be so easy to pass through security and then only go through it once. No, they make you go through it when you get through security, and in every country on the way to the country you're going to, including the destination country before customs. For some reason, they'll get you from Denver to Frankfurt to Istanbul to, I went to Georgia, Tbilisi, and even when you land, they check before you get to the customs that double check again. So, in conclusion, I guess tip 3A, make sure you have decent layovers. Don't try and cut that really short. B, keep all that stuff together because it's the only way you're not going to be like half of these people that make you want to just get them to stop breathing your air. People are so dumb when they travel. Just keep your stuff together. You know you're going to be hitting these marks. Just keep it all in one thing, hand it to the dude. He'll figure it out. Don't be searching through your bags for 10 minutes or you're going to see me in the back screaming. Now finally, you're ready to pull your foreskin over your head in just absolute disgust at what the world has become, and feeling a little bit of cathartic pain will help you get through it. You've landed in Georgia, or wherever you're going. Congratulations. It's beautiful and old and has lots of beautiful history and music and dance. Powerful dancing. Enjoy your stay, but make sure every morning before you guys wake up that day, you check your embassy page. I've thrown this a lot. If you'll look, I have a link on the screen. That is an actual link to an embassy page that I was using. It will usually say something about your country, the embassy, and it'll have the ending route in the countries, whatever their website is. So it could be .co.uk, .com for the US, .ru for Russia, usually .jp for Japan. Check that, because when we landed, Georgia is just like its neighbors. Azerbaijan, Armenia, Iran, Turkey. It's like a desert. It is hot. And we went there in June when it was hot. And so we had to wear a mask outside because on the page, that's what they said. Even outside, you have to wear masks. And we hated it. And it made us so hot having our hot breath forced upon us all day in 35 plus degree weather. But after like 4 or 5 days, we noticed people weren't wearing masks outside anymore. They were when we landed, but they're not now. We just assumed everyone was maybe sick of the mask mandate, like how in America they have it and people just don't care. But shop owners weren't wearing their masks. Tourists, after about a week, stopped wearing their masks, and it was me and my friend, and we're the only ones wearing our masks. Finally, we decided to look it up a week after being miserable in these masks. And there was a parliamentary procedure that happened while we were flying, or while I was flying at least. And it passed that next week that, oh yeah, mask mandate only technically inside in not well-ventilated areas. So if you have shops with open doors, restaurants that have like patio seating, you know, really big museums. There's lots of Orthodox churches in Georgia, so those have well-ventilated areas because they have giant openings. Yeah, you don't need to mask in any of those places. So to save yourself a week of not only looking stupid and foreign, but feeling stupid and foreign, make sure to check the embassy page every day, because who knows, the restrictions are lessening in real time while you might actually be there, and there's no reason to look stupid and foreign. Other than those hiccups, I had a pretty good trip. It was really beautiful over there. I love Georgia. It was not at all what I expected. And in fact, next week's video, hopefully, will be about an hour-and-a-half long video of all the random footage that I took. Just wanted to share it with you guys while I have it, and it's fresh on the mind. But after that, we are doing textbook reviews. More videos like this where I explain traveling things. Hopefully Japan's opening soon, so that'll be a thing soon. I have 2 collabs coming up, one with a friend of mine, Adam, actually involving this thing here, and we're gonna be doing a collab with him because he actually fixes and restores old instruments. I have another collab with a language learning friend, but I can't announce that one yet. But that one's coming soon, so you guys can speculate in the comments down below who that other collab is with. Other than that, you can check out all my random books and coloring books that I have been making in my Amazon link down below. I think we've made 4 or 5 so far. We have another 2 coming out by September that you guys should go check out, my Amazon page for as well. Thank you so much to my Patreons, the manga clubbers, the postcard procurers. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. If you guys enjoyed this video, maybe consider liking down below. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or compliments, leave them in the comment box down below. I personally read all of them. Twitch TV/Chad Zimmerman, @that's my Chad on Twitter. Probably Chad or Chad Zimmerman of some sort on every other place that there could be me. Zimcar Rod Company, and I think that's about good. I don't need to shout out that many plugs. Thank you guys for giving me this vacation. I was so burned out and I really, really needed it. But we're back. I feel strong, ready to finally face my destiny of talking into a camera in my basement for the next year and a half. So, subscribers, stay for the subscriber-only outro, but if you're not subscribed, I still love you, but love hard, love deep, and I will see you all next week. Bye-bye. So for all my subscribers out there, I actually wanted to show you some of the things that I got. So Georgia is an Orthodox country, like Orthodox Christianity. So they have all these super sweet icons here. This is actual gold and silver. This is Tamara. I got this from the oldest church in Georgia. It was built in like the 400s, I think. This is an icon from a monastery in Moscow. This is an icon from one of their newly built churches, but it's the 3rd largest Orthodox church in the world. It's huge. And this was from a cave church that I went to up in the mountains. And I just kind of have them set up the way that you would see one of these icon corners from Georgia. This is kind of how they set these up. I just thought this was cool. And I wanted to show you guys some of the things I brought back because I don't know. I like art. I think the artwork on these, I don't know how well you could see it because it's a little dark down here, but they look really cool. So yeah, thank you so much for subscribing, because people like you who watch my videos and enjoy my content let me purchase such frivolous things to decorate my bookshelf. All right, have a good week. Love hard, love deep. I'll see you next week.